Well, Jim, another question here, speaking of which, was sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by Derek Allen. Hey, Derek. If Shad Khan had been successful in buying the Rams back in the day...
What?
He tried to buy the Rams before he bought the Jaguars.
Oh, good Lord.
It's possible that AEW would be based in St. Louis instead of Jacksonville.
I thought the Rams were from Los Angeles.
Well, they were, but now they're in St. Louis.
Oh. Trying to stay ahead of the law, huh?
How much of a stain would AEW be on St. Louis's wrestling history had this happened? P.S. What kind of savage doesn't appreciate a good order of biscuits? All right, enough of you, all right?
Hey, yeah, there you
Derek.
Read that all out. Oh, read that all word for word.
Yeah, hey, Derek, he said, what kind of savage doesn't appreciate a good order of biscuits and gravy? Hashtag tally-ho.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the sentiment of the question, but I think at this point, you know, any reputation that any city had for wrestling has been blown at this point by the national promotions. I don't know if St. Louis would have been any more insulted than we all are all over the country at AEW or its ilk. But you know, that would be interesting because there is no place in St. Louis that I can think of that they could have made their little Daly's place. You know, and could have survived through the pandemic and the empty arena shows and all that stuff. That's one thing, but it just seems like Tony Khan is a person that needs to be based in Florida, rather than you never see those headlines, Missouri man, like you do Florida man fucks a bowling ball on Broadway. It just seems more like Florida behavior is more suited to Tony's temperaments.
Beyond Tony's behavior and any of the problems with the booking or the structure of AEW as a business, just on its own, do you think there's, to this day in 2024, still any kind of detriment to being based in a big city but not a big media city? Not to put Jacksonville down, but if AEW is based in New York or Chicago or Beverly Hills, it may help them in some way. I mean, that was Vince's philosophy. I'm either going to live in Greenwich, Connecticut or Beverly Hills, because that's where I need to be.
Well, but see, the thing is, that was what Vince wanted to do, because he was already on the perimeter of New York, and for running a wrestling territory, which is different than a national promotion, for running a wrestling territory, most people that didn't already have the LaBelles had been involved in California wrestling for decades. You wouldn't go to, I want to start a company in New York or Los Angeles, the most expensive places in the country. It would cost you more to get on television. It would cost you more to hire production crews. It would cost you more to do anything in Los Angeles or New York, advertising, fucking gas, for fuck's sake, just anything. And that's why that those territories never really changed hands, because you didn't want to start something in opposition, especially to an established promotion, in a place that would cost you an arm and a leg to operate in under the best of circumstances. But with a national company with unlimited money to spend, Tony could have started it in goddamn Monaco. If he's intending to spend $250 million, you could start it on the fucking moon. So the idea of starting a regional wrestling company, or the parameters that you would look at, are different than starting a national company now, where you wouldn't even probably want to get local TV. It's even harder to get national cable. You can buy an hour of time in New York. It might cost you $25,000 a week or whatever the fuck. Who knows what it is now?
And for the record, I'm not even talking about local TV, because I think it's a non-entity right now.
Well, but I'm just saying in these major markets, that's what you would have to have an unlimited amount of money to spend to get any attention. Can you imagine how many fucking different companies and organizations and or promotions of various entertainment endeavors are attempted to be launched every day in New York or Los Angeles? I think it kind of gets lost in the shuffle unless you've already got a profile somehow.
Yeah, and he's an NFL owner's son who will inherit.
He's an NFL son of a bitch, is what he is.
No, I didn't say that, but he will likely inherit the team and be the person running the team for the family in the future.
Yeah, see, if you had come out and said 5 years ago, I'd like to spend $200 million in a wrestling business, that still didn't guarantee you were going to get television. They already had the football team. He's going to parties with Kevin Riley from TBS TNT. They knew all these people already that, and they had the $200 million, whatever the fuck it was. So that's how all that happened. I don't know that just Joe Blow with $200 million could have fucking started a wrestling company and got TV unless they already had the football team and all this other shit that caused them to be in constant dealings with these people.